Hello again. Once again, I know I'm late. I'm later than I was yesterday. But I'm going to do my best to get as far as I possibly can in the about an hour and a half I have. Maybe try to finish this case, because I'm really eager to start the last episode of this game. I think it's the last one. It would be weird if they now jump to 5, considering the previous 2 games have had 4 cases or 4 episodes, with the first one having the exception of the DLC, or like supposedly like a limited platform specific episode that was for like the handheld, I think. I don't think the Trials and Tribulations has one of those. It should be only 4 episodes, possibly ending the 3rd one today. So here we go. January 8th, 9:46 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 1. Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning, Maggie. So, what do you think is going to happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well and ended up on a giant mystery. That's true. And we still haven't solved a single part of it yet. Are you okay, Nick? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. I saw that little flash of doubt in your eyes. No, that wasn't doubt. That was, determination. Why don't I believe you? It's nearly time, Maggie. You better get going to defend the seat. Roger, don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you. Hey, pal. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need that. How did you know she was stressed? Nah, I was watching through the doorway. Oh, very normal and definitely not creepy way of observing people. Oh. You look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Here, maybe this will help. Do we finally know what's in that bottle? Huh? Have we taken up aromatherapy too? Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me that you don't remember this thing. Come to think of it, that doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles. I'm pretty sure this was the, You know, actually, this might be the last thing we need to figure out what the fuck happened. Because there are gaps in the story, but I think I kinda know what went down, how, when. Well, the when is still a bit of a mystery, but like... Oh yeah, also, we're apparently completely glancing over the fact that Gumshoe just took on 2, you know, very arm-strong people just by himself. And apparently just escaped unscathed. Good for him. This is a small bottle that turned up in Trebian's kitchen a couple of days ago. Wow, look at all these little bottles! Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. He's got so many they're overflowing onto the floor. Hey, wait a minute! There's one bottle that's different from all the other ones. Well, what do you know? It doesn't have a label either. And... this is smell! Probably not a good idea to sniff that. in a case about poisoning specifically. We finally got the analysis results back from the lab. So? What is it? Is it the poison? I'm afraid not, pal. It's medication. This is the missing medication. Medication? Yeah, for ears. Topical use only, apparently. For ears, you mean? Yeah, it's the medication Glenn Elk was using for his ruptured eardrum. What was Glenn Elk's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? Small bottle refiled into the court record. This ear medicine found covered in unidentified fingerprints in the kitchen. Unidentified fingerprints? Truly, it's a shame we don't have the whole fingerprinting system in the... I'm slightly relieved, Jesus Christ, by the fact that we did not keep all those systems that were introduced in the in the extra episode in the first game than the next ones, but I can also kind of I think it's better this way. But no, I mean, you know, it could have been any. It could have been any, you know, attractive looking, you know, lady in the apron. Hell, it could have even been Phoenix, to be honest. So we should not disclose the possibility of it being maybe even Armstrong. Would explain why Kudo was so insistent on, you know, it being, you know, Maggie. What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that? Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour and they might have gotten something on the prints, but that's going to weaken its impact as a piece of evidence. Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today, got it? Well, to be honest, I wasn't really feeling impreg today, so I'll do my best. Today's trial. I'm gonna expose that guy for what he's done, or my name's in things, Wright. I'm actually curious if we're gonna see Will Powers again. Most likely, considering he showed up in the earlier game, or in the second game again. They'll probably be having a lot of reoccurring casts, because it's cheaper as well. No, I have nothing against seahorses. It's just that, like, right now, Phoenix is a little busy, and, you know, I think he probably, with this whole, you know, trial thing, I don't think he has time to, you know, time to take care of a child. January 8th, 10 a.m. District Courtroom number 4. And also, I find it unlikely we're gonna see a tree pregnancy in this one. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor. Very good, then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. We did also hear from Gumshoe, but apparently we're just gonna ignore that. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems. The mark of the rim on the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand, but according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand. Like, well, actually no, the opposite of that, that's your right hand. Thank you, Mr. Kudo. Furthermore, according to the witness account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Note the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear. It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick? Smooth jazz. No, allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it. Oh, you lost me already, Mr. Kudo. Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Only losers think like that. You've got to change with the times. That's one of my rules. He has so many rules. He probably has many... Okay, I'm gonna say something that people are gonna disagree with. But I think he might be the Zod of this game. The complete oddball. Odd one out. Goes completely by his own reality. And still somehow... still somehow manages to be the most difficult obstacle to conquer. Man. The fastest DNI of my life. fucking sentence. Anyways. Are you implying that you resolved these contradictions? You know the answers to those riddles? The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here, he was throwing us off the scent. And today I'll prove it. Very well. Let the first witness take the stand. We're starting strong. And you are...
Bonjour everyone. I am John Armstrong, the owner and head chef of Le Tourbillon restaurant in Shanghai.
I do like the theme a lot. It's very upbeat. Or for cream first and witness, but... Fuck, it was right there and I fucking missed it. God damn it. What, are you a woman? Wow, you... Godot was just saying about how you need to keep up with the times. That is not very progressive of you, Mr. Judge. Holy fuck.
Ooh la la, monsieur. As you can see, I am le pet and perky gentleman, non?
Okay, so he does identify as a man. A perky one, but that's fine. So everybody else has been really fucking disrespectful. Or, On the day of the incident, you were in Trebillon's kitchen. Isn't that right?
With you, monsieur.
Well?
Everything feels right.
Huh.
Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy?
Apparently ketchup stains, but... Very well, your testimony please, witness. Please tell the court what happened there at Tourbillon.
Oui, volunteers.
Witness testimony at Tourbillon.
When it all happened, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new art decor that day. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. Oui, perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. The cup, the earpiece, and the glasses. He would have seen everything in reverse, no?
Shit, actually. A mirror? Somebody should have probably cued us in on this.
Oui, un grand mirror, la most enormous mirror.
He really does stick that ass out. And suddenly the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it. That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front.
What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. The fuck am I doing here, actually? We don't... Is there a confirmation on that mirror part? At 3 p.m.
When it all happened, there was just 2 customers in my restaurant. And who were the 2 customers exactly? Mice, of course. The young man who died. And the other not so young man.
You're referring to yesterday's witness, I presume?
What about the other man Maggie says she saw at the table? Somebody tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence.
We need some hard evidence first before we can bring him up, don't we?
I guess we'll just have to try a different approach for that time being. I remember I was experimenting with some new art deco at that time day. You were experimenting with art deco? How come I never heard about this before today? You are not familiar with the language of interior design, monsieur? Please stay on topic now. Why didn't you tell the court about this before? Please try to ignore the fact that I am absolutely without any sense of style. But I did just a few moments ago.
Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong? This deco you mentioned, are you referring to some sort of decoction?
No, art deco. It is style of design, Your Honor. He's talking about interior design, walls, ceilings, carpets, that kind of thing.
Oh yes, of course, that's deco, that deco.
I was trying to achieve a more effeminate look for my restaurant. I was planning the most bold remodeling of like decor. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example.
How big of a mirror are we talking about here?
Buff is something about 4 meters wide and we about 2 meters high.
Let's see, if 1 meter is about 1 yard, holy glass in a frame, that's huge.
Phoenix! 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 This case is lost. I'm calling quits. He only knows freedom units, and he has no idea how freedom units work, either. Oh fuck. I was intending to install it on the ceiling eventually.
The ceiling? Was there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember.
Oh yeah, I mean he's thinking about large things right now. He did just have a continuous. He had to continuously endure Gumshoe's wieners, so you know he's a little put off by that. Still recovering. Mine's none, but I decided not to go through with it in the end.
What should I do? Should I ask him more about the mirror? Or not?
Press harder. Slam desk.
If he really has such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. There's nothing about a mirror in Misikudo or Maki Bird's testimony.
But
Objection! You didn't ask, Wright. You have only yourself to blame for such sloppy work.
What?
A mirror was delivered to Trebien the day before the incident.
Really?
As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes, and as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end.
It just doesn't add up. Even if a mirror was delivered to Trebien, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime.
Huh! If you want to doubt someone, Wright, look into the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back at you will be dubious enough. So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in the mirror.
we? Perhaps that is what old man was looking at.
Normally, I would expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object.
Objection! Normally? How does normality come into this? That's lame, Wright, even for you.
Huh?
Are you trying to say that if someone isn't normal, it isn't possible? Is that it?
Something, actually, not someone.
Where does that leave the porky-headed lawyer and the top-knot chick over there? And the ungodly cool guy with the mask over here. Well, tried.
Fuck. He kinda had us on that one.
Not the hair.
I don't have a top knot!
Mr. Godot is correct. A lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument.
Beyond, logic has won the day. La cap, la earpiece, and la glasses. You would have seen everything in reverse, no?
Everything? He would have seen everything in reverse?
We?
Hey Nick, would you take a second and think about what CD said in his testimony? How do you phrase it again?
I've always wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens on his specs. No question, you can look me up if I'm wrong. If it was his left ear, without a doubt, it was his left ear. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup. His left hand.
If he saw everything he described reflected in a mirror, and everything he said he saw on the left was actually on the right, huh? And that clears up all the problems with his testimony, I guess. Or does it?
Huh.
It's kinda hard to believe everything's the fault of a mirror, but... You think old CD saw everything through the reflection? If he did, he would explain all the contradictions in his testimony. That just makes the situation worse for Maggie. There's gotta be something in the old man's testimony. We just gotta dig deeper.
Okay, well, one thing here. Yeah, I mean, there's a very glaring contradiction right here.
Objection!
Like, we have a picture of the man,
The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD? Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we?
Our boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens on his specs. No question, you can look me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt.
So to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw all that as a reflection in a mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side.
Exactamente. You see, monsieur, now that you think about it, it is not so odd, none?
Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts.
Slamsesk.
If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in the mirror, why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head?
Order! Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness genuinely observed the victims reflected in the mirror, then we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been on his right eye. How bitter. Try it, you should have a taste of this bitterness. It will calm you down in no time.
Are we talking about your coffee or something completely different?
You don't understand the way the witness thinks. How he thinks? You remember this, I presume.
That I broke the vase? Sorry, apology, Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony?
Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Elk? Clearly, it's the victim's eyepiece. And that's my point, the old man strikes again. Mr. Elk's HMD made a big impression on the old man. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear, do you hear? His left ear. Huh. Well tried.
That's the worst but best impression of Kudo ever.
Oh fuck, I should have done that. Damn it. They started playing his theme, so I should have known. Anyways.
Wow, I really thought he was all seedy for a minute there. Kudo's good.
Enough. I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony.
Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of contradiction you found is just a rash.
A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears.
Oui, I can explain. Please, if you will look at the plans of the restaurant. Alors, is everyone sitting comfortably? Oh yeah, I mean, there's some... could be some really hardball seats. La mirror. It was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves. There is only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim. Okay, this picture does not match exactly what I... This is... most bizarre. That was the seat at the table next to the victims. That was where the old man was sitting. After the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else.
I see no problem with the explanation. We have just heard. From the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror.
What a naughty little coquette I am, confusing all the men like this.
Don't worry about it. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out in cold sweat over there again.
I hate that guy.
Shit, that you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that?
And volunteers, of course.
Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please.
La mirror. It was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves.
So run this by me again. Mirror was here, correct?
Oui?
We? Really?
Slams desk. I really hope that desk is impregnable.
Because I know if I were you, I wouldn't have put a mirror there. It would be in the way.
Look who's talking, Wright.
Huh?
You're obstructing my view, among other things.
But, it's my seat in the courtroom.
Drebian's charm is that it gives you the impression that you're the only customer. Temporarily placing a mirror in that spot would hardly be in the way. Unlike you, Wright.
I tell you, monsieur, la mirror was there, in the middle of the restaurant. There's only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim.
And where would that be?
Oh la la, look how you lean towards me. I always attract the younger boys. Maybe I should keep you in suspense a little longer. I have problems with the statement, but I'm gonna... we'll move on.
Mr. Armstrong, tell the court what you know at once.
I attract the older ones too. You know, handsome. Shall I tease you too? Jesus Christ. Actually, you know, just something I realized I never checked. Age 39. Okay, you know, actually fair enough. Age question. Oh, question mark. Oh, true, we did meet a lot of characters yesterday. Well, did not meet the Cadaverini yet. It's 25. 42?! Well, they're two constantly adults and I should absolutely not have a problem with that, and I should not make it a big deal either. So I won't.
I'm already seeing a very hot someone, so I'm afraid you'll be waiting for a long time.
You know, I'm really curious about the phrasing of that. We'll go on.
I bet she has a mocha cream skin and cappuccino perfume.
I don't know if it's a she. I mean, could be. I'm not saying either way, but like, he left a good bit of information out on that, and fair enough. Based on what he said thus far, I wouldn't be surprised either way. And beyond, I will tell you, there was only one seat from which you could have seen it. That was the seat at the table next to the victims. That was where the old man was sitting. Because, like, Godot specifically said that, you know... I mean, if he is a cyborg, you know, then I'm not gonna get in his, you know, espresso machine dating ways, but again, in the way of his espresso machine dating ways, but like, the way he phrased that is that he's dating someone very hot. Or was it something like he's got somebody hot waiting for him, so Armstrong's gonna be waiting for a while. Hey, come on! That microwave was buff as all hell. At an absolute Looney Tunes of a character. I think I was in the right about that one. Wait, so that was the seat, that's the table next to the victims. That was where the old man was sitting.
So why can you only see the victim from the particular seat?
My monsieur is obvious not. If you look at the plans, you will understand. The victim would have been reflected in the mirror like so. If you were sitting at the table next to him, you would see everything none. Okay, I've done extensive studying on how reflections and refractions work. And I'm trying to picture this in a way where it makes sense. Because how would the reflection exactly look like? Like... I don't know, this is weird. We'll see where this game is going.
So that's the old Cedar was sitting in on that day. The poisoning happened. The owner was sitting at the table next to the victim? Why does that seem kinda odd?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure we had the testimony say that, you know, he was sitting at a very different location. Oh! Oh! Oh, I'm seeing things. Hospital. Anyways, okay, what was the yeah, this thing. After the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way.
Do you move the mirror while Mr. Kudo was off calling the police?
Oui, exactement. I carried out of the restaurant then.
You moved a huge mirror like that all by yourself?
What can I say? I know how to pick things up, and some. I am, after all, known as Armstrong.
Uh-huh.
Kudo actually laughed at something.
Well, given the witness physique, I suppose it is possible. Did you remove anything else from the crime scene, Mr. Armstrong?
I look like the obliging type, no? But naturally, I did not touch anything else.
Are you sure about that?
I touched nothing except la mirror.
Mr. Wright, is there something the witness has said that doesn't match the crime scene?
Yeah, there is. I just can't put my finger on why exactly.
Oh, suffering from a case of heartburn, right?
If I had just the thing for that, an oil with golden mirror and Frankensteins.
Add a few drops to your coffee and voila, enjoy.
Focus, Phoenix. Breathe. I need to ignore those two and let's find some evidence. Pretty strange though, isn't it? I mean, nobody mentioned anything about a really large mirror. I think someone would have, but Maggie didn't. And neither did old CD. The only logical explanation is that there was no mirror inside Trippy Inn that day. I just got to prove it somehow.
I'm gonna try these again because there are two pieces of evidence I could use here, but I'm not sure which one I should be going for here. Actually, I have 3 different pieces of evidence I could use here. A very hot someone. Yeah. That's what he said. Wait, this is different dialogue.
Because I know if it were you, I wouldn't have put the mirror there. It would be in the way.
Look who's talking, right?
Huh?
You're obstructing my...
No, wait, actually, this is... No. This is the same dialogue as last time. I didn't remember that one. Alright, so I have a couple options here. First of all... Okay, what's the deal with the photo? When was this? I don't know when this was taken. This, however, I think the game wants me to go into this.
Objection!
Your Honor, that statement context is evidence.
Gosh, I don't see any contradiction in it. Oh,
Really?
objection denied. Try to think before you make a decision, Mr. Wright.
Damn it. And it's also punishing me for 2 points. Okay, so now the problem here is that, like, damn. I'm near the kitchen.
Objection!
No. Fuck. I'm gonna fuck this up, aren't I? So I'm not sure what the game... Okay. Okay. It has to be this one.
Objection!
It is... Okay, it's that one. Fair enough. So we're taking this approach.
Your Honor, Mr. Kudo's words yesterday strongly contradicts Mr. Armstrong's testimony.
Because I thought the photo was... both the photo and this had the same, like, idea. But I guess we need to first, like... Yeah.
Is this the letter of apology that was written by Mr. Kudo, is it not?
I realize it looks useless, Your Honor, but this is still testimony.
Huh, I guess useless people are only really good at identifying useless things. What relevance does this scrap of paper have to the trial, Mr. Wright?
Slam's desk.
Mr. Kudo's testimony is actually very relevant to the question at hand, Your Honor. Because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence.
Blah, 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 blah.
This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we have heard, Your Honor.
A crime photo?
Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist.
What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Should not exist. Huh, sounds like you're describing yourself, Wright.
Okay, that's a little harsh.
Well, if the defendants would please clarify this statement. Why is there something that should not exist in this photo?
What? Slam's desk again. Man, that desk has been through a fucking lot.
There is one thing that was clearly demonstrated by this testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not, in fact, sitting at the table next to the victim at all.
Objection!
Slams the coffee on the desk.
Don't be an idiot, Wright. That's impossible. That seat's the only one Kudo could have seen the victim's reflection from.
Slam's desk again.
Exactly.
Oh,
There's only one conclusion that we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in the trapeze that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie.
Mon Dieu?
Objection!
God, these desks are having a day.
Don't try to confuse the court tried. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase, while the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene.
Objection!
Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Just ain't doing it for me, buddy. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary. In his own words, I did not touch anything else except the mirror.
Oh!
Yeah, he's short-circuiting again.
Oh! My witness, what do you have to say for yourself?
So sad!
I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day.
And now this relation will return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear which he couldn't hear? Huh. You only get one shot in life. There is no turning back. If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, try it. And this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw?
But if you answer this, then I'll be much closer to the truth. I can feel it.
Are you going to be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick?
There's more than just this one contradiction, Maya.
What do you mean?
Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table. And there was a sample CT on the victim's table.
Oh, I mean, I'm not judging him. I'm just saying that he generally looks really sad. And I felt bad for him. Even though I think he's heavily mixed up in all this.
All flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up.
Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer.
Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradictions in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple.
Victim was a phony. I don't think the doctor would have made a mistake, but I think the victim was a phony. I know, right? It's gonna be the biggest twist when we know that that Phoenix was actually the one to kill Glenn Elg. Not by choice, by just, simply having a discussion with him. And Elg just decided that, like, you know what? This life ain't worth it. He was in the room when it happened. Yeah, exactly. And then Obama walked in and everybody clapped. Oh my god, I fucking love those posts. So we cannot say that Kudo would have made a mistake. I don't know if we can I don't know if we can say that the ear doctor made a mistake. Yeah, actually. Yeah, but there was actually. Oh wait. Left eardrum was ruptured. I get 2 shots at this. But like, phony is such a fucking loose term. Like, was he not actually the victim? He's just pretending. He just didn't like the coffee, so he decided to, leave his corporeal being. Like, I know it's not Kudo, but I cannot be sure. Like, there's no evidence. Actually, speaking of evidence, I should maybe look at that a little bit more. Because what I'm thinking here, which is a terrible idea, first of all, that what they mean by the victim was a phony was that it was actually not, that he did not need the medicine. Though I think there absolutely was a little bit of... there were traces of the medicine, which is the problem here. Is there a reason why the doctor would have made an error? Is there actually a description of what the fuck happened to his ears exactly? I know there was a discussion about that, but I don't remember exactly what happened to it. Some horrible programming related incident. Somebody turned the fucking volume knob all the way to a full. We don't even know who the... We don't even know who the doctor is. So throwing accusations their way. Like, there's no way to even, like... We don't know if the... We're hoping that it's not Hottie. The name of the clinic was actually mentioned. Actually, well, that's the thing. It was not the Hottie's clinic. That's the thing here. It was a specific, like, it was a specific place for ear related things. So I'm saying the victim was a phony. I mean, to my understanding, a lot of WoW memes are either there, since the game is so old, a lot of them are actually, you know, like some things that have ended up as being recycled again into the meme culture through other games, or then since it's such a vast game, there are a lot of a lot of similarities or like their own adaptations. So I would not be surprised if, you know, there's overlapping with that. But yeah, no, we're talking about different Hotties here. I actually really don't know who the other one. So I cannot make this statement. And I don't have enough concrete proof to make this statement. This is the only thing that makes sense. So I'm saying this one.
This case is riddled with contradictions, yet there's one very simple answer that clears them all up.
And those?
The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two complete different events.
Oh, thank fucking God. Oh, thank fucking God this was the right one. Oh, I think I've actually seen that one. I've seen a variation of that, at least. I'm not sure if I've seen exactly the Thunder Fury Blessed Blade of the Windseeker, but I know for a fact I've seen different variations of did someone say, and then, you know, whatever is the most relevant, you know, thing in the community for that specific situation.
What?
Slam's desk.
Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Elk at all. It was an imposter, a phony pretending to be Mr. Elk. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake.
I think I got it wrong. Phew, never mind. He agrees. He doesn't spit coffee so lightly.
Order in the court. Settle down or I'll clear the courtroom. Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here, huh? What did you say?
Jesus Christ, they're having a fight. Daddy and Daddy are fighting again. Sorry.
Right, are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup?
Yes. Someone pretended to be Glenn Elk and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. And for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo.
Get real, Tried. Why would anyone want to do that?
Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was...
The servant girl brought him a Javashino, but she put something in it. And that's the servant girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well.
It's so hard to believe, but
Slams desk again.
There was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. Show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee.
are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was a fake as well? And it's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but it's also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening. That's right. Well, witness, if your restaurant really was the scene of such theatres, you wouldn't have known about it, correct?
Yeah, I think the term Thunder Fury has actually leaked into like other media as well. To some degree, at least. Because I think I've encountered that somewhere. So like I'm familiar with it being like a or like the whole thing of a, well actually I don't know, is it just a Thunder Fury part or the whole name? But this sounds very familiar.
Ooh la la, this is most difficult for me. No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You're under oath after all. Was there in fact a phony at 3 PM that day? Defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened.
The truth? In a court of law? Phoenix, what have you been smoking?
The defense's request for the additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain in detail the evidence in the restaurant that day.
Oui. In the restaurant. La victim, Monsieur Elk. He came to my restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. There were no other customers. When he got word of he won the lottery, Elk became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. None. There was no time for a phony to do the acting.
So just we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all.
Je vous demande pardon. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly.
What you have done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later.
There is only one possible follow-up he could have with this statement. Oui. Never mind. He did not do it. I thought he was gonna be more... Anyways.
For now, we will hear your cross-examination. Mr. Wright, if you please.
He took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination.
Well, I expected him to be into it. In the restaurant, la victim, Monsieur Elk, he came to my restaurant alone.
Was he alone at this table as well?
Oui. I saw him from the kitchen.
And defendant Miss Bird remember it differently. She swears there was another man at the victim's table.
Huh! Unfortunately for you, Trites. Yesterday's witness also testified that the victim was alone. You know, seeing your squirm like that reminds me of a certain coffee's bittersweet bite.
What kind of coffee has he been drinking?
It's not coffee, it's love! It's love that's bittersweet.
Yeah, Maya said that makes her seem wise all of a sudden. And the old man arrived not long after him. By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct? Oui, he comes often for my special coffee.
I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience.
Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur. You are most welcome anytime.
I said it was worth one sip, and nothing more.
So old Mr. Kudo and Wright at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about the Isarel in more detail.
What time was it actually? This is a rather interesting question.
Out of curiosity, about what time was it when Mr. Kudo arrived? Oh, no. I cannot remember, monsieur.
I believe we were told by the witnesses today.
The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of a scary old man, sir.
Does that perhaps shock your memory, witness?
The incident happened about 20 minutes after he arrived. So the victim must have arrived between 2 p.m. and 2:10 p.m. None? Just after 2, huh? And thank you for your help in jogging my memory, monsieur. You are wonderful.
I can sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I?
I think he's actually getting swooned a little.
The time of day will be added to the witness testimony.
Oui, monsieur judge. Everything I do for you.
Merci bien. That's French, isn't it?
I'm glad at least one person is in a good mood.
He's even humming a song to himself.
I remember the old man arrived not long after him, just after 2 p.m.
I want to press this again. I need to press this man. I need to pin him down for info.
Objection.
Can I get the info as to how long ago? Oh wait, shit, I pressed the wrong one. Sorry. I wasn't pressing the right buttons.
Are you absolutely sure about the time? When nothing really odd, I am sure it was just after 2. Oui. It is that time I stopped serving the lunch menu.
Right. I always break for lunch when the restaurants are serving their specials. I've been known to wind up a case early just to make it on time.
Great.
I guess you should never get between a hungry Josh and his lunch.
Oh, would you look at that? It's almost lunchtime already.
Oh, are we gonna? Is it gonna get hungry and we're gonna save the case with a box full of weenies?
Witness, get on with your testimony, please. Is there no other customer? So you're only customer with Mr. Kudo and the victim.
Objection.
How many times do you need to ask the same thing, Wright? You'd never catch me drinking the same blend twice.
I thought you exclusively drink the same blends. Like you have your own blends and you try them. You depending on how you feel, you drink the ones.
Huh?
You're trying to establish the presence of a phony victim in the restaurant, but you're wasting your time. You can't grind bird seed to make coffee if you catch my drift.
It'd be some really fucking weak and really, really, really awful coffee. Even coming from a person who does not like coffee.
There's a hole in his testimony somewhere, I'm sure of it. When we got word and won the lottery, Mon Elk became very excited.
I think that's Mon, as in short for Monsieur. Monsieur. Yeah.
Do you see him? None, I was in the kitchen, but I heard him. I remember him shouting, and yes, half $1 million.
Presumably the defendant heard that too, then correct?
And Maggie? She looked like a poor little frightened duck. And what about Mr. Kudo? The old man choking some birdseed that got stuck in his throat?
It seems we now have yet another incident on our hands.
It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred.
And what were you doing at that point? Without any customer, you must have had time to kill.
I am a multi-talented woman, monsieur.
Sorry, what do you mean?
There is the renowned chef, John Armstrong, and the tragic poet, Clarice Armstrong.
Ha!
Split personality.
Clarice?
Oui, I was writing a poem, an angry tale of a chef in $500,000 of debt, cooking for a man who won $500,000 on the lottery. It is called Pourquoi. It means why. Perhaps I could recite it for La Cote?
Please don't.
None, there was no time for a phony to do the acting.
I mean, I'm just curious. Is this an alter ego or like an actual like it seems like it's just an alter ego. He just writes poems as under a different name. Got it. I was jumping the shark on that one.
You mean you contacted the police as soon as the incident occurred?
Ah yes, the old man to call from the payphone.
By your own argument, right?
Sorry, I only know the first Sorta part. And I've never played the game. I don't know what jazz is.
The purpose of this phony victim's performance was so the old man would see it. In other words, once the incident occurred, this opportunity would completely disappear. Rendered.
Beyond, it seems the shadow of doubt has been lifted, says pass?
Yes, Mr. Armstrong is connected to this case, huh? Absolutely. So was impersonating Mr. Elk, and I refuse to believe he was oblivious. He was there the whole time after all.
But if you're right, wouldn't Maggie have noticed too?
She fell unconscious when the incident occurred, remember?
Oh, you mean that's when the phony staged his act?
We'll know for sure once I find a hole in his testimony.
I'm gonna actually save here because I've been going for an hour, and I would hate to need to replay all the dialogue and like that. There's been a lot of stuff. I'm gonna press this again because, no, actually, I probably didn't do this one. There is something here. I think I can do it here. Yeah, I can do it there. I can do my... No, don't press it like that. I can do my evil deed. Wait, where's the thing? There's the thing.
Objection!
Oh, thank God it works here. I wasn't sure if this was the right one.
I'm brave. I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong.
Queen? What do you mean?
At the time in question, the victim was listening to a radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery ticket.
Oui, that must be the show Monsieur Elg was listening to.
I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright.
I wonder...
Hmm?
You said the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct?
Oui, I'm sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was that time, because I had just finished serving lunch menu.
Get to the point, try. If you have one.
That show is broadcast live. That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m. And it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life.
Sunday at 1:30?
Now suppose that the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m. Because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time.
No.
This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listen to the radio with an ruptured eardrum. Catching a show that was already over. There's only one conclusion you can draw from these facts.
Aliens! Or
This victim was an imposter acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Yes, there were 2 Glen Elks in Turbian that day. The real Glen Elk, now dead, and been poisoned by the real killer. And the phony Glen Elk, acting out the evidence of Mr. Kudo to witness.
It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how could you explain the time discrepancy? Quite a performance, Wright. You were almost on a roll.
Huh?
But sadly, you lacked a rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song.
What is this? Music Theory 101?
Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it's just after 2 p.m. The phony elk is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glen Elk is?
I don't really have to spell this out for the card. However, at that time the real Glen Elk was already dead.
That's showing the obvious conclusion.
Objection!
Thank you, Wright. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say.
What?
Now, I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to?
The missing corpse?
According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. That customer was the phony Glen Elk. Then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim?
this is something I actually did not think of too much.
The prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to the examination by the court, you must provide us with proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body?
Yes, Your Honor.
No conjecture, Wright. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden.
Evidence?
What's with the intense pressure in here all of a sudden?
The contradiction. Please turn them all around and back me into a corner instead.
Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence.
I have not watched a lot of South Park, but I actually get that reference, and I'm going to say very unlikely. I hope not.
First, where was the body of the real Mr. Alex concealed?
It would need to be inside toward the end.
Could not have been taken outside, to my understanding.
Could you have been carried out? With the mirror, actually, no. No. No, no. I don't see it as a possible thing that it could have been taken outside. I'm actually gonna... Well, actually, no. Maybe... No. Do I save again? Don't think I need to save again. Okay, let me just think of, like, what are the most likely... Fuck, I wish I had, like, a full... wish I had a picture... Well, actually, I have this... Okay, so this is what every single... Wait a minute. What's that photo? That's interesting. I never noticed that photo on the wall before. I mean, absolutely could be in the kitchen. To my understanding, the entire idea was that Maggie never entered the kitchen. Armstrong was exclusively in the kitchen. And the medicine ended up in the kitchen. So he, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, the medicine ended up in the kitchen with the body. Wait, where did they find the rapper again? The MC Bummer, the famous rapper. How am I not finding it here? There it is. It doesn't specify where it was found. This one and this one were found on the apron. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Now I get it. So he must have opened the bag, taken out the medicine, put that in his ear, and then when his corpse was carried out from out into the kitchen, it must have rolled out, and then to not make it stand out, it was hidden with the aromatherapy things. Yeah. So it was in the inside.
It would have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside the Tribune.
Interesting. Where could the body have been hidden inside a restaurant? Perhaps you would care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright?
To be honest, there was a really easy way to dispose of that corpse.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's a very easy way to just, dispose of it if they had wanted to get rid of it. I think that's something about show the court as to where the corpse was. Well, I would say this is literally the safest spot.
I want to sit in here.
I see. Nice supposition, but the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location?
I'm not sure if I'm doing this right or wrong, but I'm guessing that it might be good enough. Slams desk again.
Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle?
None. I've never seen such ugly bottle before in my life. I only do use the very best bottles, monsieur. The highest quality, only for me.
Where was the bottle found, Mr. Wright?
Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Tribune.
Qui? But I only ever use these bottles for my aromatherapy oils.
But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains the medication.
What kind of medication?
I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? When Mr. Elk visited an
Sorry, let me try that again.
otolaryngological clinic and was given medication that day.
You can't be serious.
The fans had the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have the lab results here. The contents of the bottle matched the prescription that was given to Mr. Elk.
Whoa!
Ron Elk's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen. Thanks for that pause. At which time, this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong? When the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen?
Mon Dieu?
Yes, you know what I'm talking about. I'm about to say, it was you who hit the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Mackie Bird. However, you were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back.
No.
Order! Order! There's an extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenn Elk?
I like how they call it extraordinary, but this is like the third time thus far that Phoenix has accused a person that's actually on the witness, stand for murder. Or at least having something to do with. And no, actually, that happens almost every. That happens in over half the cases, actually. Never mind. This is like an everyday occurrence. And never? I could not do such an horrible thing.
No. Mashikoro. The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules. Rule 68. Every time somebody lies to you, drink a cup of coffee. It helps you calm down your nerve. Rule 76. Do not trust people, for they always lie. Rule 81. Dreams are nothing but fake. And a waste of time.
Fuck, I wish I remembered all the, what are they called again? I don't remember.
Do you have the slightest idea how many cops you've had by now?
Then I like to do the same to the person who lied to me.
No, I mean, yeah, you're right. Like, it's really not that wild, but I find it funny that the judge is like,
Inconceivable. How could the victim possibly be, you know, the potential culprit?
wait, victim, witness. I don't remember what I said anymore.
I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, chef. How about a brand new flavor in your ear, my H-deficient friend?
Does H stand for honesty? Je vous demande pardon. Please, you must hear me out. It is a trap. Listen to me. Por favor.
Yo hablo español, Mr. Armstrong, and por favor is Spanish.
Wait, what is he saying with this? Yeah, I mean, I know, but it's, yeah, like, I get that it's intentional, but it's still funny that even at this point, he's like,
I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe what I'm hearing. I'm only going to ask you once. Did you do it?
None, absolutely none.
Let's hear it. You've got one shot, right, Gramps? Witness, the court will permit you to take the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Godot's office a coffee mug awaits you, as does my gavel.
Oui, is this clear?
What do they always say in the movies? I've got a bad feeling about this.
Star Wars reference. They made that in the new Dark Anthology, or they made a very, very clear Star Wars reference in the Dark Anthology game again, and God, I have never heard anybody like. Okay, it wasn't like terribly phrased, and it was correct. It was the correct phrasing of the reference, but it's just like so fucking out of place. I just did not like the writing on that. Then again, I've only seen one of the endings, so. Eh. Yeah, but I mean, I just assumed that eventually he would get a little bit, you know, desanitized to the whole thing. Oh no, is it sanitized to the thing? I don't remember which way that goes, but like, the man's old and he's gotta learn at some point. Well, okay, actually no, those two statements contradict each other, so yeah, it makes sense. He's, you know, he's doing his best.
Very well. Begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong.
The confession. It is true. I eat la body in the kitchen. Desensitized, not sanitized. Thank you. Pretty close though. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there were a reason why I could not refuse.
Okay, you're right. You never really know what's behind every corner, so might as well enjoy life and, you know, not make expectations.
I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. But I did not kill him. I swear it. You must believe me.
You were forced? By who?
I cannot say, or I will be erased.
Let's try a different question then. When Mr. Elk died, he was really the only person at his table.
I still can't believe the events of the first episode in this game actually happened. It was fucking insane, actually. The whole, like, that whole case was beyond comprehension.
There was.
Phoenix!
There was another man.
I knew it.
Maggie was telling the truth.
You might go examine the witness now, Mr. Wright.
There's one more thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer.
The confession. It is true. I eat that body in the kitchen.
Did you carry the body by yourself?
Oui, I carried him, and I carried Maggie too.
Maggie too?
Yeah, Maggie, the fucking defendant. Get on with the fucking program, Phoenix. When she saw the victim collapse, she fainted. I could not leave her there.
And why did you hide the bodies?
A man forced me to do it. I had no choice.
What man? Who was he?
None, I cannot say. I fear for my life.
He's really scared.
You just had to put the words in his mouth, Nick.
Yeah, you're right. If he won't tell me, I'll tell him.
Why would you go along with this man?
I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse.
And what reason would that be, Mr. Armstrong?
You know, Monsieur.
Yes?
Surely you cannot expect a young maiden to talk about such an embarrassment.
A maiden? You're a bit old to get away with that.
A bit too male.
We're not going into that.
I can't finish the cross-examination without establishing this reason. I just have to prove it, with evidence.
But I did not kill him, I swear, you must believe me.
So you're claiming that all you did was hide the bodies, is that correct?
Oui, that is right.
If we were to believe you, Mr. Armstrong, you must tell the court everything. You must make clear the identity of the man who ordered you to do this.
Sorry, confessed as much. Might as well stop dancing around the real issue.
Sorry, I for a moment could not remember how to do Maya.
Yeah, but he really doesn't want to tell us who the killer is.
Shock it to him, Nick.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Present la evidence. Yeah. This would make a lesser man talk.
Objection!
Or lesser man not talk.
You have $500,000 debt, don't you?
$500,000? Is this true, Mr. Armstrong?
Oui, this is the all. I was weak and I borrowed the money.
is Mr. Armstrong's Achilles heel.
Wait, which episode is this? Wait, which episode is this? It's episode 3, yeah, it's not the 4th one yet. Shit, sorry, for a moment I was like, wait, how many have we done yet? There's one more to go. Oh, jeez, sorry, I got shocked for a moment.
Mr. Armstrong's Achilles heel. And that's why you couldn't refuse anything asked of you by this man.
Dun 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 dun. Slams this.
A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark.
Wait, really? There's 5? Damn.
And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything. This man told you.
Oui, it is as you say.
Mr. Armstrong?
Latiga, he told me he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting the victim on to demand that he repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to do. I have no choice. I carried the body and the inconscient Maggie out of the dining area and into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen.
I think we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tigray.
I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. The poison and the lottery ticket were found in the defendant's apron pockets. What's that you're doing as well?
None, I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Maggie who had done it. I was not. It is despicable.
Mr. Godot.
Okay, so they build up for like a finale. That's kind of cool.
You will summon the Sphere Tigray as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we'll adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow.
Whoa! Damn, he's fucking efficient.
30 minutes. What? What? The trial will go on. I will see to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more.
How the...
Don't sit back and relax, that's right. No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way. Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godot. We will resume once Mr. Tigray is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess.
Typical. Oh, absolutely perfect. This is actually such a convenient timing on this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Godot was really fucking upset that, you know, he was lied to. And he's probably very eager to get this whole thing sorted out. Yeah, you don't know what's behind what's behind that mask. Could be laser eyes. But yeah, this is a very fitting time for me to end this. Yeah, I wasn't gonna be able to finish this apparently. And I'm completely fine with that. January 8th, 1:21 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1.
We're finally gonna see the tiger on the stand. But only tomorrow. Stay tuned for more shenanigans.
Wait, worst kept secrets? As in, like... Surely they don't show that off, do they? Well, maybe at the end of the game. Could be. But yeah, anyways, I think that's it for me. I need to go actually eat something. probably not a terrible idea. And I have some things I need to get in order for tomorrow. So thank you all, and yeah, probably maybe finishing the if I get to streaming on time, because I'm gonna be busy tomorrow. And if I am delayed, then I don't know how things are gonna go exactly. Yeah, I don't know much about. Yeah. Also, my observation skills. I don't know who the fuck Godot is, but we'll see. But anyways, thank you all, and bye, sees.